Good afternoon, everyone. This is Jared Rand, and welcome to the Global Guided Meditation Call for Monday, July 31, 2023. Unless it's 3:15 p.m. Eastern. We're having a time for change call this Wednesday night around 9 p.m. Eastern. Are we destined for scarcity or abundance? Who decides that? And it's interesting, isn't it, that the natural state of this universe is abundant. Now that's this whole universe, where there is a plethora of things, ideas, love, money, friends, opportunities all around us. Even though we may not feel it all the time, this abundant universe is always available to any of us right now. We need not search for abundance outside of ourselves. It is a state of being that can only be found from the journey within. This universe is always sending us loads of good energy, new ideas and people to help us tap into feeling this natural abundant state. To experience this abundance, simply let go of trying to achieve it. It is here and now, and gently practice receiving it. Abundance is always moving, undulating. It's never stationary. It doesn't sit in a box somewhere and gain dust. It isn't collected in a bank account. It is a constant flow, and that's the universe. Now, how is it that many people on this planet worry about lack of? Really, right? Lack of fuel for vehicles, lack of food, lack of water. You see, the basic staples of living, lack of. On a planet that is over 70% water. Not only that, not only on the surface, but beneath the surface. There's more water beneath the surface than on the surface. Now, we're a water planet, but we have lack of water. Now think about that. We use 1% of the we use. 99% is food. But remember, we have lack of water in many areas. We have to restrict water usage. We literally reside on an immense, abundant planet. And natural resources, I mean, oil renews itself, which a lot of people aren't even aware of, ones that are asleep aren't. Oil renews itself because we constantly have decomposing biomatter. That's what we have on this planet. Things are always ceasing and then renewing. So there's things coming in and there's things leaving. When we're trained, we're pre-programmed, of course, so we're trained to believe in lack of civilization. What does lack of create? Fear, worry, stress, anxiety. We could tap into abundance right now. You basically let yourself move, undulate, flow with life. Go with the flow. become like the natural waves in the ocean and surrender to this water-like flow of energy inside you. Our real life is like a dancing river of energy that will continue on well after our bodies are gone. To tap into this fluidity inside, find your breath, align yourself with its movement. It will lead you directly into the abundant flow that's here now. Now, here's a lot of people will say, "Oh, that doesn't work. I'm not going to try it. I've tried that before, and it doesn't work. It's just crap." They need a checkup from the neck up. If you want to become a massive channel of abundance, then only pay attention to what you are grateful and thankful for. That's all you got. Pay attention, not the other stuff. We've paid attention to the other stuff so long. We've parked there way too long. We should move along, move on. See, what we believe, as Mary Manon Morrissey stated, what we believe to be true moves through the lens of our mind as living energy and becomes the reality of our lives. Living energy. What we believe to be true moves through the lens of our mind as living energy and becomes the reality of our lives. If we believe ourselves to be limited, we get to be right about that. But it is not our ultimate truth. Some of us are afraid of abundance. Now, it doesn't necessarily mean that we intentionally put that out there. We put up these shields that abundance bounces off of. We believe, we've been trained, of course, it's always about reprogramming ourselves with our own thoughts. But we believe that all the thoughts, other people's thoughts, we believe a lot of that. And we're kind of like caught in a trap. And so year after year, generation after generation, this is what we believe. It's like when a government tells the people, when everything is in shambles and everything's falling apart, and a government, which is really not a government, tells the people that everything is fine. Everything's fine, the economy's fine, everything is wonderful. To these shields that we put up, we've got to drop them. We've got to remove the walls blocking us from it. That's exactly what we have. We've got to remove the walls that are blocking us from our true nature, which is abundance. Now, these walls are shields protecting our heart from getting hurt, conned, deceived, or abandoned again. Because we've all been there, one way, shape, form, or another. Remove any shielding around your heart and imagine tossing it into a great bonfire. Let your armor melt away. If the shielding feels like it is still there or coming back, simply invite the fire inside of you to consume your heart and any walls it has. Breathe deeply and physically open your arms wide, inviting this fiery purification to remove all defenses from your life. When you feel that all shields are removed, with several deep breaths, imagine pulling everything in the entire universe into your heart. The whole universe. Bringing it in. pulling everything in the entire universe into your heart. All creation right now is pouring into your heart. The stars, the planets, Earth, and all beings. Feel how truly abundant life really is. Now, we've been set up, okay? We've been set up for a long time because, you know, the parents tell the children. Children grow up, become parents in most cases, not all. Tell their children, who then tell their children, who then tell them. It's like a circle that's never broken, because we go in this circle every generation, and we pretty much, you know, it's kind of a mix. Some of the parents will learn things that their parents told them that they'll kind of go off the beaten path, and they'll research, they'll go into themselves, and they'll discover who and what they are. So then they start sharing with their children who and what their children are. And remember, children, like all of us have been, are open books, you know, empty vessels to be filled. That's why it's so important that when children are born, that we begin immediately to literally train them to learn about who and what they are. See, how are we going to do that if we don't know who and what we are? We won't. That's been the missing link for major progression forward into higher and higher frequency of the civilization, because it's been redundant over and over and over again. A few little different things thrown in there, but pretty much the same. See, one of the best ways to remain in the flow of abundance is to practice knowing that you are an abundant, infinite being that will never die. You really are. We all are. We don't die. See, we get this attachment with the body, and then we believe, see, we're too much attached to the body. So we are not embracing the spirit, the God within us. So we have fear. But we never die. Now, since abundance is highly charged, positive, infinite energy, let's open up. Feel this energy. Share it with others. The more you will naturally feel this abundance inside yourself. In the past, we all may have partially closed the door to feeling this abundance due to past conditioning or scarcity thinking. To truly break this old programming for 5 minutes a day, just 5 minutes a day, imagine opening your attention to all that surrounds you. Tune into the abundance of things, nature, and people on the planet who are creating everything for you. Because truly they're giving us food, because you have farmers, right? Water. The planet gives us water. And all the pleasures that come with living in society instead of living with society. Feel this abundance of support around you right now, right? Absolutely in the moment. Let it touch your very core. Let in the abundance of joy, pleasure, and opportunities, and laughter into your heart. We all are already deeply and eternally loved, and will always be deeply and eternally loved by the abundance of this universe. Consciously open the door in the now. Proclaim the truth to this universe by stating, I am a truly abundant being. Shout this message out over and over, internally and externally, till you feel that it has penetrated deeply into your soul. See, this truly is a multifaceted journey within, since we have spent countless lifetimes journeying out there. Right? Tune into the abundance of things, nature and people on this planet who are creating everything for you. They are giving you food, water, and all the pleasures that come with living with society. Feel this abundance of support around you right now, letting it touch your very core. Let in the abundance of joy, pleasure, opportunities, and laughter into your heart. We are already deeply eternally loved and will always be deeply eternally loved by the abundance of this universe. Consciously open the door right now and proclaim the truth to this universe by stating, I am a truly abundant being. Shout the message out over and over, internally and externally, till you feel that it has penetrated deeply into your soul. Become a channel of love for others. We can instantly become a channel for the highest vibration in this universe, love, by gifting our time spontaneously to someone who needs it. Give a hug to someone lacking love. Share new inspirational ideas with others. Email someone this inspiring information. Give presents to people just for fun. And share something beautiful you have created, like a music or poetry. You'll spontaneously feel better when you reconnect with this joy of giving freely. Just imagine what your world will be and feel like when everybody feels that there is an abundance of love, money, energy, and joy to share freely. Be the first to start the trend. All greed, all fear, and all lack will be eliminated when we all share freely from this truly abundant state. It will be impossible to feel poor at the end of the day, having given your love and light away. Why do you think that all of our technologies we will be giving away free to the people of this planet? All of them. No charge. No expense. And we have faith that the people of this planet will be in deep, eternal gratitude continuously. Not once in a while, but all the time. When we're all twisted and tied emotionally through the material physical world, we really don't. Do you really feel good? No. Do you feel a balance? Yeah. And it gives you time to do what? Feel more out of balance, more not good. Do something kind or super nice for someone. Anyone, every day of the week. This one thing will cause you to step into being that bright, guiding light of abundance being that you are. Perhaps it is sending someone a $5 bill, helping an elderly lady cross the street, paying someone else's toll, or mowing your neighbor's lawn. Wouldn't that be interesting? How many, let's just say, those of you who live in the box neighborhood where you've got the houses pretty close to each other. Everybody's got a lawn of some kind. And so you get your mower, and you just go down the street. And it's funny because a long time ago, I used to do this when I was a kid, because we lived on an Air Force base, and Air Force base housing was pretty much like, urban, rural, urban, the houses were fairly close, if not connected. And I had a push mower, okay? Not a motorized mower. Because believe it or not, back then, a lot of us used push mowers. Just keep the blades sharp. So I would go door to door and I would ask, do you like your lawn mowed today? And people kind of look at you funny. Like, what's it going to cost me? And I would say, And then some of them would say, how much? I go, it's free. What? And so I'd mow their lawn. I'd go down to one side of the street. Then I'd stop. I wouldn't do it all day, but I would mow the lawn. And it's fun. Okay. You ever notice when these bodies get to a certain age, right? You don't move as well. You don't maneuver as well. You don't hear as well. You don't see as well. You don't smell as well. You know, all of that. And a lot of people they aren't interested in asking for help. They won't ask for help. Pride, however they were raised, programmed. But they're not going to ask for it. So you just say, do you need any help today? Now, nowadays, there's so many people distrusting and stressing that, how do I know you're not a rapist, or you're not this, or you're not that? People will know when you look at them and you have that energy of God within you. They won't feel threatened. Okay? Most of us today, in most cases, are so frightened to give someone a full body hug. We're frightened. It's like we're so conditioned, like marionettes, right? And you can't do that because what would happen if they thought I was making some kind of a innuendo or a pass, right? So I'm not going to do that. I'll just bump chest. See, this is how paranoid, as a civilization, as a society, just in this country, that we have become. They can't do a full body hug. Okay, body to body, genuine. Instead of this, bumping fingers, bumping fists and stuff. Isn't it? It's a riot how we've become so detached from emotional touching and hugging and holding. And we're not talking about sexual connotations. See, this civilization is so fearful of sex and orgasm. It's unreal. Like it's taboo. We just don't let it out. We just don't relax and just let it go. Surrender. So when you practice giving something to everyone that you meet, maybe it's a smile, right? Doesn't have to be material. A compliment or a flower. I know people that, during the course of a week, they get flowers, not expensive flowers, but they get flowers. Sometimes they're just wild flowers outdoors. And they go around handing them to people. And people smile, mostly. But some are really frozen. This is an opportunity to stop playing the small selfish game and start feeling more loving, abundant, and free. There are endless ways to share this kindness inside each and every one of us, and each one will reveal this feeling of abundance inside. We will soon see how easy it is to become a channel for abundance in our lives. Gratitude is the golden key to swimming in the grand, abundant river of life. When you start becoming a gratitudeaholic, you become a channel of abundant, flowing feelings for yourself and everyone around you. It doesn't take long. Take 3 minutes each morning. The moment you wake up and focus on the feelings of gratitude, what amazing things are you thankful for? Let a wellspring of thankfulness, relief, and joy to flow all over your body and inside you. And practice mastering gratitude this week by implementing everything I've discussed so far. It never fails, every morning and every night when I go to bed. I repeat the information 21 times. I'm of the highest high, deepest of the deepest, deepest eternal gratitude. I say that 21 times before I go to bed. I say it 21 times before I get out of bed. I do that every day. It's part of my morning and it's part of my night. And I keep saying it, and I will continue to keep saying it. Not once in a while, and I don't forget about saying it. How can you? It's a repetitive energy that what we're doing is programming ourselves. We're eliminating a lot of the programming that we were given. And it's not that those people were bad, it's what they were taught. Okay? So we all become victims of ignorance. And some of us stay there in ignorant land. And these are a lot of people that are, they're fearful of many things, angry with themselves. Anger is love under pressure. So you know, we know. And it's choice. And it's a knowing. So you don't think with your head, feel with your heart. And eventually, when you do that, you'll know when you're in the heart mind and when you're in the head. Stillness. We all know what stillness is, right? Is the greatest achievement one can have in this life. Papaji. See, we're all in this scurry. It's a scurry. Scurrying along. Rushing along. Always got to be doing something. Always got to get something done. Why is that? What, do we ever ask ourselves why we do that? Never taken a moment at all. Just take it all in. Most of the time, the majority of us don't ever really, truly embrace and enjoy life. I was having a discussion with my assistant, and we were talking about the fact that there's so many things, right? Food items, for instance. More and more, you can't eat this, can't eat this, can't eat that, can't eat this, can't eat that. And if you eat this fruit, it's going to do this to you. And you remember when you were kids, right? When we were all kids? Did we worry about what we were eating? No, we really didn't. I mean, we didn't eat the greatest stuff, but we had a good time. Isn't that what life is about, enjoying things? But you get to the point where you're on overload. And the overload is what? What is the overload? Well, you just finally say, well, is there anything I can eat that I can enjoy? Because you got all these, these doctors that have invented this and done that, and in researching this and researching that, and they're all of a sudden authorities on everything, all kinds of foods, and I'll research this, and this isn't good for you, this isn't good for you. Blueberries aren't good for you. Spinach isn't good for you. So I guess, and see, it's not like we have, it's not like we have super energized food. So when we look for things that are, capable of providing enough energy for our bodies, and we like them. I remember my mother, she was a diabetic, so she only learned that she was a type 2 diabetic when she was in her 80s. She never knew for all those years that she was diabetic, but she would get dizzy, and she'd break out in a sweat, and she'd have to sit down, and I'd have to get her candy bar. They didn't know that she was diabetic. So she went in, and they found out that she was diabetic. And I learned about the fact that, people say that they're borderline diabetic. There's no such thing as borderline. Either are you or not. There's a lot of stuff out there that's twisted. But she got to the point where she's heading towards her 90s, and she finally just said, you know what, I don't know how much time I have left. I'm going to enjoy myself while I can. So she liked to eat these Long Johns, they had like a chocolate icing on the top, and then inside they had this really good tasting cream whipped up in there. So she liked those. Bismarcks, they used to call them. So I got her half a dozen of those. And she'd like punchkis, Fat Tuesday, Polish tradition. Fried dough with sugar and stuff, real good for you. But, she ate them because she liked them. And she lived to be almost 93. It's not like she had, it's really interesting. You watch, you learn when you're growing up, and she grew up on a farm. She was a foster kid, foster homes all over the place. Then by the time she hit 11, she ended up on a farm and stayed there until she was about 18, 19, and then married my father. And the interesting thing is that eating on a farm, and then she would always, we had fried chicken, on an iron skillet with lard, pies made with lard, the pie crust flakier. Just to look at stuff that we learned from. But did she have a lot of issues? Not really. Not really. The body was just getting really old for our standards right now in this moment, and she just finally the body just couldn't operate anymore. So she was in her 80s doing floor exercises every morning for 20 years. She did that. She actually started like 70. Yeah, she's in her late 70s. No, mid 70s, something like that. But she did it for 20 years. I got her started on it. So when you got to kind of look at certain things, if you choose to, and say, what the heck? Is this going to kill me? No, not necessarily, not unless you do it 24/7. But to treat yourself, enjoy things, enjoy life. And that doesn't mean that you're out partying all the time or buying stuff all the time or stroking your ego all the time. It just means go with the flow, relax, be at ease. A lot of us are so overstimulated and overwhelmed by this fast-paced life system that we have on this planet. And it's social, it's a structure that society, which is the human psyche, has put on us. We don't know any different. We grow up and we learn all this, and this is what we practice. And plus, on top of all that, we're living in super exciting times. We have a massive shift of this planet and the civilization into higher frequencies happening every split second, every atomic second, every micron second. And it keeps picking up speed. And then we have all the other stuff. So we have a choice. We don't have to let chaotic feelings of overwhelm rule our existence. We can learn how to let go, relax, and remain receptive to what life has to offer us. We can choose to refuse or refocus our energies on what is healing and to create a more relaxed and enjoyable way of living that deeply nourishes our bodies, mind, and soul. It's good to know that we humans can only reap the richest and most fulfilling rewards this life has to offer when we are living life from a relaxed, centered, and peaceful place. To transcend something, it helps to better understand it, doesn't it? If you don't understand it, how can you transcend it? Well, what really causes overwhelm? It first originates from those deeper beliefs that say that we should or shouldn't be experiencing something, and we judge the experience that we are having. Overwhelm can often contain this internalized time pressure from deadlines that you, not your boss if you have one, if you don't have one, then you're your boss, that you have placed on yourself. This means you choose to have too much to do in too little time. This is all about over-promising to ourselves and under-delivering. If we continue buying into all the things our mind says, right, that we have to do, and how everything must be done as soon as possible, happiness can seem like an impossible dream when we're in that muck and mire. And most of us throughout this life, that's what we'll end up doing. Believe it or not. We will do that until we're out of the body, and then we'll go, you've got to be kidding me. That's what I did. Always had to be doing something. Under the gun. We put ourselves under the gun all the time. Like someone's holding a gun to your head. You got to get this done, got to get that done, got to get this done, got to get that done. If you got to get this, get this. And it just continues and goes on and on and on. We don't enjoy life. We fight life, right? But we don't enjoy it. We think we do on occasion, but we don't. We really don't enjoy life. We don't enjoy life because most of us aren't relaxed. See, we can get to the point, by choice, we choose, is that to believe, if we believe in all the ideas that our mind is constantly spinning around us like a spider web, we will start feeling trapped in our lives. You ever felt that way? Thoughts are truly harmless in themselves. They really are. They're just thoughts. Nothing else, nothing more. But it's when we latch onto our thoughts like they are a life preserver, and we believe that they are the true reality of our existence, that suffering is created in our world. If we are constantly chasing the illusions of our mind, we will simply end up tired, frustrated, and overwhelmed. See, the mind has been programmed to endlessly search, seek, and pillage to find happiness, fulfillment, and abundance in the outer world. And this is a constant search, and it will never satisfy us and can only bring exhaustion. This is a perfect experience. So we will retire the mind and discover the infinite spiritual source of our being. How do you retire the mind? Sounds kind of crazy, doesn't it? You leave it alone. You focus on the now. You focus on your breath all the time. Eventually, ego mind won't be able to pull you out of that where you start floating off somewhere. One minute you're in the now, next minute you're somewhere else, in the future, in the past. The only way we find that true happiness and fulfillment that our mind desperately seeks is to recognize that the God source is always here now. When we connect with that peaceful stillness, that is who we truly are. We automatically feel a deep sense of fulfillment. This is when we will naturally relax and seek and see the futility of striving so hard for outer contentment. Imagine what it would be like to fully relax in this very moment. Stop worrying so much about achieving something in the next moment. Simply choose to allow your mind and physical body to completely relax. If you truly know that the now moment is perfect and focus simply on what you are doing in each future, start to relax. If you truly know that the now moment is perfect and focus simply on what you are doing in each single second instead of the future, you will naturally start to relax. It is impossible to feel overwhelmed when you are completely present to the now and see the perfection of the now moment, because overwhelm is a feeling generated by future thoughts. So if you start to feel overwhelmed by your life, simply stop and begin to practice the fine art of trusting the perfection of each moment as it arises. Whenever you start to feel overwhelmed, the best thing to do is to simply take a few deep breaths in. And most of us breathe in very shallow ways because we are constantly being driven by all of the thoughts our mind is throwing at us. Each time we take a deep breath, we relax our body-mind. The more we breathe deeply, the more we naturally let go of feelings of stress and begin feeling more peaceful and centered about our life. Now, the body may resist relaxation at first. Yet, if you imagine that everyone you love is looking at you with eyes of love, your body will eventually melt and let go. This universe is literally holding you, all of us, in a warm cradle of love. It is taking care of all of our needs. All we need to do is simply focus on relaxing our body-mind so that we can receive all of this love and support. A relaxed body-mind is a receptive one that is open to receiving support and help from this universe. The more receptive our body-mind is, the easier it is for us to navigate through our life.
Hello, fellow brothers and sisters of the light. I am Julie Joy. And for some unforeseen reason, the closeout is missing. Sometimes it's my internet, sometimes it's his internet, sometimes it's just